Hi guys, I'm back with another video for you today, and I've got Dahlia here. So a long time ago, a very, very long time ago, Dahlia and I did a video on Parfums Quartana.
Years.
For one fragrance. And now that Parfums Quartana has just launched the third fragrance in this new series of fragrances, I invited Dahlia to come here to talk about all three of the fragrances. So we've got IEROFANTE, which is in this beautiful red bottle with a gold color theme. Then we've got Forest of the Golden Dream, the second fragrance in the series. And then finally we have Soleil Invisible. So Dahlia and I are going to break down these three fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. That is Dahlia. You're wearing a nice shirt today, by the way.
Somebody gave it to me. It was a present.
Would you rather wear perfume?
Always. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. So we are talking about Parfums Quartana. What do you know about this brand? You're the one that well, actually, it was funny. When she first told me about the brand, I had just communicated with the brand as well, and we were planning a video. It was kind of like meant to be, and we shot our first video together. You can search Parfums Quartana on the channel and go catch that video. But what do you think?
I first became aware of them with their, I think it was called the Poison Garden or something like that. Is that right?
Potions, yeah.
Something like that. And it was all these like wolfsbane and foxglove, I think, and just flowers that are lethal,
Poisonous,
essentially.
yeah,
which I thought was really cool. I think there's actually a garden somewhere in the UK that's all plants that are poisonous.
Ooh, stay away from there.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a cool theme. Anyway, so I was very charmed by this. I don't know what that says about me, but I think it's a cool idea, and I was very interested in the brand, but nobody carried it. So
yeah, it was hard to find these fragrances, and hopefully after this video, somebody might start carrying them nearby. We shall see. But the first fragrance we're going to talk to you about, IEROFANTE, was featured in my very first Scent Club mystery box. If you were one of the people that got the box, let me know what your thoughts are on the fragrance. I do have to say it is a very edgy, out there fragrance.
It's challenging.
And then it also won the Art and Olfaction Award, which I attended last year in Los Angeles, and the perfumer Luca Maffei, along with Joseph, who runs the brand, were there. By the way, the two perfumers out of the three I've met, Luca Maffei I've met before many times, and I've also met Celine Barel, the second fragrance we're going to talk to you about. But the first fragrance, IEROFANTE, features notes of suede leather, smoky leather, gasoline accord, Styrax, Pyrogene, frankincense, vetiver, myrrh, golden amber, cashmeran, and nutmeg. So you do really experience the gasoline. It smells different in that it's a bit addicting to me, because I want to smell it the more I smell it, because as a kid, I was obsessed with the smell of gasoline. Whenever my parents drove into the gas station, I'd be smelling the gasoline. But what do you think? Is it strong with the gasoline here? It
does have a very distinctive kind of... I get more smoky leather, I think, than gasoline, really.
It is quite smoky.
Yeah, the smokiness really comes through. I just put a little bit on skin, which I hadn't tried it on skin before. And it's a lot milder with that extra magic ingredient of me, I guess. But on paper, it is a little bit startling at first. I smelled it blind. I didn't know what the notes were and kind of went, oh.
It wakes up your senses.
Yeah. But on skin, it's a lot more mellow than on paper. It's smoky, like there's like a sharpness to the smoke. Even though there are resins listed as notes, the smokiness is, I don't know how else to describe it except to say that it's a sharp kind of
well, they're calling it smoky leather, which I think leather, if it's smoked, it can come off very sharp.
Maybe tannin, is that?
Tannin, yeah, tannins. Tannic.
That's the word. It's tannic. I feel so much better now.
Now, yeah. So
yes, it is that.
But do you get gunpowder? I get gunpowder with this. I've been around, guns being, shot, and most like a rifle for hunting. There's that weird smell when it's first used, the rifle. And I get that with this one. It's a very unique smell. But I think this is an acquired taste. It's not...
Don't
personally,
blind buy.
It's not a blind buy. I think definitely sample first. But if you're into the idea of unusual fragrances, I think it's definitely worth it. Because for me, it gets quite musky and also ambery. Of course, resinous also when it's drying down. Along the way, there's a lot of spices. For sure, it's very smoky and leathery. And the gasoline is there and reminds me of gunpowder.
Tannic.
Tannic?
Yeah.
Is that really a word?
I'm going to go with it. I like it.
Okay. Are you familiar with Luca Maffei's work?
Actually, no. I don't know that I would. I haven't come across his name. Maybe I am, and I don't know that I am.
Yeah, I've actually done videos with Luca Maffei. If you're curious to learn more about his fragrances, go check them out. Actually, when this was launching, I shot a video with Luca in his atelier where they produce perfume in Milan. So he mentioned this in the video. So if you're curious to learn more about Luca Maffei, go catch that video. But let's go ahead and move on to the Forest of the Golden Dream in a white, or I guess it's a light colored bottle. And we also have a similar bottle here with the third fragrance. It's Soleil Invisible. So the next fragrance we're talking about is called Forest of the Golden Dream, which is this one right here. And it's created by Celine Barel. I first discovered her fragrances for, I believe she did fragrances for Scents of Wood. She works at IFF. And I actually got to meet her last year. It was very interesting the way we met at one of the studios I was visiting during the show TFWA in the south of France, and had a very interesting connection with her. Between the three fragrances, I feel like this is the most interesting and wearable at the same time. Unique is the word I should say. It's also a very green fragrance, and I do love green, and you do enjoy green as well, don't you?
Yeah, this is a lot more accessible than the first one.
Easier to wear, but still it's different. It's not your typical mass market release.
It's a piney, there's almost like a cool quality to it. I think we said camphoric.
It's quite camphoric.
Like jumping into a cool rock pool on a hot day kind of quality, which is, it's been really hot, so.
Yeah, it's been really hot. But this features notes of French mimosa, which is pretty standout. There is cypress, there's Siberian pine needles, Canadian fir balsam, eucalyptus, laurel leaves, olibanum, violet leaves, pink pepper, sandalwood, coriander, cardamom, patchouli, moss, Italian lemons, pample zest, and cool wood. Lots going on here. You really do experience a powdery greenness here. Very earthy, very green. The name is appropriate, Forest of the Golden Dream.
Yeah.
We've got forest-like qualities, and the Golden Dream, I'm assuming, is coming from the French mimosa because it's golden yellow colored flower that grows on trees.
Yeah, it's not a winter pine forest. It is a very spring-y, summer-y pine forest, which I think
I would agree.
That makes it unusual. Pine forest, I mean, the association is the winter holidays.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not like Fia Nagui from Serge Lutens, which is kind of frosted with warmth inside. This is more warm from the outside. Maybe warm spring day because mimosa flower blooms in the springtime, early spring. So maybe it's an unusually warm day during a walk through the forest and you're smelling the French mimosa or mimosa flowers blooming.
Like the lemons and the lemon zest as well kind of amp up that yellow, kind of more in bloom feeling.
Pample zest, lemons. I agree.
We were thinking pample zest might be the zest of a grapefruit.
Yeah, I think so. Pamplemousse is grapefruit. Pample zest.
I like that. I like that theory.
No, out of the three fragrances, this is my favorite, and I enjoy wearing this one quite a lot. And I love the fusion of the golden color notes with the greenness. It's overly green. So if you're into the idea of green fragrances, definitely check this out. It's overwhelmingly green, and I love green notes. We both enjoy green fragrances. We actually have some overlap with some of our favorite green fragrances.
We do.
Yeah. So that's a Forest of the Golden Dream created by Celine Barel. So the next fragrance we're going to talk about, and the last fragrance in this series, is called Soleil Invisible. This is created by a perfumer by the name of Christie, who I'm unfamiliar with, but she's also with the firm IFF, International Flavors and Fragrances, just like Celine Barel. But I was familiar with Celine and not Christie. So Soleil Invisible features notes of amber tonic, gaiac wood, earthy musk, labdanum, java vetiver, oak wood, Sichuan pepper, cypress, orris root, pink pepper, rose essential, vanilla absolute, passion fruit, lychee fruit, tangerine, and gurjun balsam. Personally, for me, it's not very fruity. It's also not very citrusy. And also, I don't get the rose. Whereas Dahlia said instantly, it's like a Middle Eastern rose wood oud kind of a thing, right?
I did. I wasn't going to say it because I didn't want to be dismissive, but that is exactly what I said.
I think it does have that kind of a Middle Eastern fragrance touch.
Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't have rose. I'm not getting rose whatsoever.
I'm very strongly getting rose. And I think the lychee and the passion fruit and the tangerine are making it a very jammy kind of a rose, which I strongly associate with the Middle Eastern rose saffron oud thing that's been very popular. I get
no rose.
It's a very sweet, jammy rose, and the Gaiac wood is playing the role of the oud that is often in that kind of combo. So this I would also say is a very accessible scent. It's a familiar kind of feeling with the fruits and the rose and the woods. It's got a little bit of a quirk in the fizzy kind of maybe it's the way the Sichuan pepper is playing in there. You don't get rose at all.
No, to me, it's just woods and spices with a musky backbone or something. I don't even get a lot of vanilla in this one. It's kind of dry woods, very dry. There's some spices. I get cumin on my skin. It does appear. Perhaps it goes a little ambery, but it's the dry kind. And I wanted the rose to appear. I wanted the fruitiness to appear. It's not getting it. But I do experience a little bit of leatheriness from this, along with the woods, the musk, and the amber. It does hint at something like Bois Mysterio from the House of Guerlain, which is discontinued now, but it's not that fragrance. It's sort of similar to that. If it was a little bit more leathery and a little bit more pungent, like the Bois Mysterio is, or was, now that it's discontinued, I think it would be a little more exciting. But unfortunately, this is my third favorite from the bunch. I just wish I got the rose and the fruitiness, and it's just not taking me there.
I do think it opens on the Gaiac wood and vanilla. Like when you first spray it, there's some of that, but it, for me, settles very much into a rose and wood.
Yeah.
No?
I think the woods overpowers. I don't know, maybe...
Gaiac wood has that kind of softness, though, that powdery softness. And I think
yeah,
the
for
vanilla
sure.
might be helping to emphasize that. But it's like a fragrance in three parts. Like you can get this vanilla, soft Gaiac wood, labdanum kind of woodsy vibe. You can get the rose oud sort of vibe. And then you were saying leather, but I haven't gotten a leather so much.
It's a bit leathery for me when I'm wearing it.
The musk might have some of that quality. There's maybe the musky leather, kind of like
I don't know.
Hot day leather.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, this one is a bit underwhelming. I like how exciting the previous two are. I enjoy IEROFANTE because it's so unusual and very unique. It's challenging to wear for sure. And then, of course, Forest of the Golden Dream is really, really great. I really, really enjoy that one. But let us know what you guys think of these fragrances if you've sampled them. Put a comment down below so we can find out. There's a link to Parfums Quartana in the info box as well. You can go check out these fragrances and see where you can pick them up if you're interested. But thanks so much for coming by to do this video, Dahlia.
Thanks for having me. If
you want to follow her, where can they follow you?
I'm on Instagram as The Perfume Dahlia, and I have a new website, dahliaazaria.com. So I'll have information on Instagram linking to that. Feel free to sign up for a newsletter to see what I'm working on. Yeah, but I always get to smell new brands here, so it's a pleasure to be invited. He's got Ins with the In crowd.
Is that what it is? Ins with the In crowd?
It's like a song.
Okay. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.